And we are back for a boxing segment to give it to you lightning speed. The one and only Danique Liddell from My Boxing Point of View. We are here
Hello.
for another edition of What's Going On? What's happening? You just got back from a very exciting event in New York City.
I did. I did. I today we went. I went to go see the press conference for Shakur Stevenson versus Teofimo Lopez, and I gotta say it was definitely pretty action packed. Lopez Teofimo, he was kind of quiet more than usual, which is kind of strange. Like he had his dad more going back and forth with Shakur, but ultimately it was like a really good fight. It was a really good press conference, to
And we
say the
all know
least.
Shakur is undefeated, but now he's stepping it up in his weight
Hmm.
class for the first time, fighting at 140 pounds, moving up
Right.
from 135.
Right.
Lopez is just the bigger guy. It seems, though, from what we've seen, Shakur Stevenson is the better boxer overall. Who do you have winning this fight? Considering Teofimo Lopez, although he is the underdog, he is a little bit bigger.
Yes, I definitely have Shakur Stevenson winning this fight. It could be Teofimo, depending on how he shows up, depending on how he trains. Teofimo could take it, but ultimately, I do. Me and DraftKings and all the other sports betting places do definitely have Shakur Stevenson winning this fight. But there is definitely a possibility that Teofimo Lopez can take it because on all his southpaws that he fought, he actually always won those fights. He did really well against a southpaw, and Shakur Stevenson is a southpaw, so you know we'll
Just
have
from the
to see.
energy and being there in person, did one fighter look more confident than the other? You mentioned that Lopez was a little more quiet than normal. His dad is talking smack. You think that might have something to do with a difference in their psyche?
I definitely think that Shakur Stevenson was definitely more. He was definitely ready more to go at it. He was more boisterous. He was definitely very confident. He's confident that he's going to take this match without a doubt. He says that he's going to come in 10 times better of a boxer than he was with his last fight when he fought Zepeda. So, we'll really just have to wait and see what happens with this fight. But I definitely do think that it's going to be an explosive one. And, sometimes people say that Shakur Stevenson really isn't like that, like exciting of a boxer, that, like, he's really like kind of boring, like when he fights and stuff like that. But I thought his last fight was really good. And Teofimo Lopez, he's always like an explosive fighter. So I definitely think that we're going to get exactly what we're looking for with this fight. And this
I hate to
fight is
sound
actually
violent.
go ahead.
I'm always looking for a knockout, just straight up. I don't care if it's an exhibition. I want to see somebody get knocked out. What's the chance we're going to see a knockout in this fight?
There is definitely a chance that we're going to see a knockout, but I do think that this fight is going to go to the scorecards. I don't see it being like early, definitely not an early rounds knockout, unless one of these boxers doesn't train really well. I think that it'll definitely go to the scorecard. 100%.
Now, you mentioned that Tiafimo has explosive power.
Hmm.
Is it the explosive power that's the key to a fight like this, or is it more so footwork and finesse? Considering Shakur Stevenson is just such a technically sound fighter.
I definitely think that the ring IQ in this fight wins the fight, 1,000%. I don't really necessarily see this fight being like a brawler match. I think that it's going to be technical. I think that it's going to be the skill that wins the fight. And again, it really depends on who comes in with who trains harder, who's going to actually like dominate this fight, like completely dominate. Because Teofimo Lopez actually dominated his last match too. So again, it really all depends. But Shakur definitely called out Teofimo's weaknesses, especially like he spoke about like his mentality, and he said that he plans to expose him.
I've got two more questions for you, Nick. The first is, do you believe that either of these guys are overrated at this point?
No, I don't think that either one of them are overrated. I think they both have definitely earned their titles. And Teofimo Lopez in this fight is looking to solidify himself as, the one in boxing. And basically, Shakur Stevenson is looking to put himself on that pound for pound list. And that's both what they said at the press conference. So,
And
it's definitely shaping up to be a great match. And one thing about Teofimo, he definitely said that, well, they definitely spoke about Shakur not being on like a big screen like this because a lot of times, like in these type of bigger matches, like this is like from Ring Magazine, like not that Shakur hasn't been on big fights because he has, but this is like a Turkey Al Sheik. It's gonna be like a really big event. And Lopez and his father was telling Shakur that like you've never seen like a big screen like this, and once you really see, how big of a magnitude this is, it's gonna like kind of take you off your game, which, it's a possibility because once those big lights come out, it's a big deal. But I don't think he's really going to get intimidated because I feel like Shakur is level headed. So I feel like he'll be able to handle the smoke, but Teofimo and his dad, they really don't think so. And Teofimo also talked about that he wanted DraftKings and all the betting apps to bet against him. He's like, yeah, put me as the underdog because I have a lot of boxing fans and I have a lot of people that need to make money when I get the knockout and when I'm victorious in this match. So continue to put me as the underdog so I could make money and so my people could make money when I win this fight. So he's
So you
happy
mentioned
being the underdog in this fight, Teofimo Lopez.
that he's the underdog. Which one of these men needs this win more for their legacy?
So yeah, Teofimo Lopez has definitely battled mental health issues. He's battled the media. He's battled with being on the underdog status. He's battled with all these different things, outbursts in the media, different things that he said. And Shakur hasn't had those battles. And there's many times where Teofimo Lopez said that he wanted to quit boxing. Now his heart just wasn't in it anymore. And now he's coming back, and he's doing really well for himself. So I definitely think that if he wins this fight, it'll put him back exactly where he needs to be. So I think that if he loses this, he has more to lose in losing this fight. If he loses,
It sounds like it. Like you mentioned, those mental health issues don't always go away, and it's
no,
a lot, especially for a boxer to regain that
mhm,
confidence.
right.
So I agree full-heartedly with what you said. I do think it does mean more to Tiafimo. Um, one last question, Danique. Is this fight so important that the winner will become one of the new faces in serious professional American boxing?
Um, they're definitely both very known in boxing already, but I do believe that if Shakur Stevenson was to win this match, he would definitely catapult himself up there to one of the household names of boxing. Absolutely. Definitely. 100%. And this match is actually gonna set up is like a setup match to like much bigger fights. So whoever wins this fight is already their Turkey Al Sheik is saying they're setting that winner up to much bigger fights, like the Tank Davis fights or fights of that magnitude. That's what they're looking to do to whoever's the winner of this fight. So it's kind of like an eliminator match for Turkey Al Sheik. So, we're definitely gonna have to see. And you know what's crazy? That there was definitely a lot of celebrities, like there was some celebrities there today. So, Eddie Hearn, of course, was there. And we got an interview. We got in with an interview with him, and he was talking about the sanctioning fees and Terrence Crawford that you can see on my Boxing TV and on the Ryan Show app. Also, there was Carissa Shields was there with Papoose. She was talking about her fight. Jay Prince, Jazz Prince was there, and Keyshawn Davis was there with Richardson Hitchinson, and they got into like a huge matchmaking like brawl almost had to be like separated. And I was actually right there to see like that action, see that fight be made. The two of them went back and forth, and like the media and the crowd was just chanting like, get this fight on the undercard for the January 31st fight. Like they want that fight on the undercard, but Eddie Hearn walked over and he was saying that this fight is actually so big between the two of them that it could actually be a main event fight. But the media was saying that we want to have this on the undercard because, of course, like when you go see a fight, you want to see, you don't want to see like half boxers. Like, when you go to see a match, it's always good to have a great co-main and a great main. And with this one, it was great. It was really, really good. I mean, Richardson talked about how every single time he sparred Keyshawn Davis, he won in sparring. I've never seen that sparring footage, so I really don't know. And obviously, they came up in the amateurs together. So it seems like it would be a really, really explosive fight. I mean, they probably went back and forth for like a good 6, 7 minutes and had to be split apart. It was really good. And again, you can see that footage on my boxing POV and on the Ryan Show on our Instagrams and so on and so forth. But
So,
altogether, it was a great press conference. I love
this
covering
is
these events.
this is the part we're all waiting for now, Danique. We need to know your prediction on who you think is going to win the fight: Teofimo Lopez or Shakur Stevenson, who's taking the belts home on January 31st.
Okay, well, this is only my boxing point of view. It's only my point of view. Don't kill me, anybody. But I see Shakur Stevenson winning this fight. But again, it depending on how Teofimo Lopez trains and how he shows up. He definitely does have a leg in the game, 1,000%, and he could take it. But I definitely don't see it being a knockout by either one of these opponents, and I definitely see that it's going to go to the scorecard. But I think Shakur Stevenson's going to win the fight. But then again, you never know. It's boxing.
So,
When they get in the ring, it's just them and their opponent. It's nobody else. We're all in the crowd or we're all home watching. And, not boxing is a very lonely sport, as I always say. You know, your corner, your trainers, everybody, they train and then they leave you in the corner and you go out there. It's just them and their opponent. So it's actually any man's fair game.
it is. All it takes is one punch. However, I don't think that one punch is going to land. I too think that Shakur Stevenson's going to win. I agree. I do think it's going to go all the way. I don't predict a knockout, but hey, we'll see. Everybody stay tuned and keep listening. Go to My Boxing Point of View, My Boxing POV on TikTok, on Instagram, on all things. And of course, listen to the radio, the Ryan Show during the week. Fox Sports Radio, what's going on right here on Fox Sports Rochester. You know where to find us right online, Fox Sports Radio, WGO.com. Don't go nowhere, folks. Neat. Thanks as always.
No problem. See you guys later.
We'll be back, folks. Don't go nowhere.